We'll have the matches that are listed with the red there. We're going to kick things off with Liquid versus Aster, and later today we'll have the upper bracket finals with Secret versus Thunder Esports. And then tomorrow it's lower bracket finals and grand finals time, but that means that this is our finals weekend bracket.
It's going to be a blockbuster.
Oh, definitely. I mean, look at these names. Secret against Thunder, Aster against Liquid. Look at these names. Secret against Thunder, Aster against... I don't think you can ask for a better matchup. Like, we did see a lot of those matchups, especially in the European region throughout the DPC, so that's going to be a super interesting one. And also,
it's going to be a blockbuster.
Oh, definitely. I mean, look at these names. Secret against Thunder, Aster against Liquid. Look at these names. Secret against Thunder, Aster against... I don't think you can ask for a better matchup. Like, we did see a lot of those matchups, especially in the European region throughout the DPC, so that's going to be a super interesting one.
It's going to be a blockbuster.
Oh, definitely. I mean, look at these names. Secret against Thunder, Aster against Liquid. Look at these names. Secret against Thunder, Aster against... I don't think you can ask for a better matchup. Like, we did see a lot of those matchups, especially in the European region throughout the DPC, so that's going to be a super interesting one.
It's going to be a blockbuster.
Oh, definitely. I mean, look at these names. Secret against Thunder, Aster against Liquid. I don't think you can ask for a better matchup. Like, we did see a lot of those matchups, especially in the European region throughout
It's going to be a blockbuster.
Oh, definitely. I mean, look at these names. Secret against Thunder, Aster against Liquid. I don't think you can ask for a better matchup. Like, we did see a lot of those
It's going to be a blockbuster.
Oh, definitely. I mean, look at these names. Secret against...
We're going to see another mega creep situation. How blessed are we today?
It's such a scary position for Thunder, who are the ones making the shot here. They're making the call.
I know this was like one of our most stressful games, for sure. Like, I think everyone was stressed out of their mind.
I kept dying in a very silly way in fights because I never had a guy next to me to infest. And I was like, I mean, I'm dying every fight. My goal is not going up. I'm probably like the bottom net for every core. Like, we're not winning this game. Like.
They do not have the buybacks, but they do have an Aegis. They have this overwhelming advantage for the next team fight.
But Tubbo bought out. He bought out for AC. He is short buyback of 400 gold.
Oh, there's the hook.
The ball.
The first snap. They're trying to deal with this ward. And ends up getting a freebie. Now it's a 4 versus 5, 4 versus 6 with the Aegis.
Everything had to go right. Even like the second to last fight in our base when they pushed, like, I die without buyback, yeah? And a guy dies, and I get assist gold to get my buyback back. And that's the only reason we're actually still in the pushing the base.
And that is going to be enough to be able to finish off a top of that, but he doesn't have the buyback. Foxy, he's going in. Dying, the second lifer. Get back to the fountain, the Havoc Hammer pushing him away. Running him down, the Bloodstone gets on. Rampage kill. Rampage on the mid stage, but because Matubamit got the buyback, he's going to die once. Nobody else. It's just Dark Mongo. It's just because a 2-on-2. Insania now joining in with the Dark Mongo's going to try and deal with him where he can. The freezing field going out with the Suns. The bashes doing so much damage with Matubamit with the bashes, making it 12. One fall, the other to follow. No buybacks. Team Liquid, they hold again.
It never felt like we were fully out of it, even though maybe the numbers and statistics all said we should have been. And then, you know, at the end of the game, it comes down to literally 1 HP. I think if Mickey dies and Matu is like, Infest doesn't save him, then probably game over.
This is a hard fight. You have to pick your jump well. You have to hit these scores.
Now Sacred goes for it. If he can leave the blindfold, they're just going to focus all in onto Mickey. And it looks like Mickey. Down to all over the side. Swatch will go over the Rolling Thunder on through them. Mickey surviving through it. And now the Marcy dies. And now they get the stun on the Sacred. Now he's at 12 seconds. How much can you get in 12 seconds, Liquid? Can you claim top 4 in 5? It's not going to happen. The
speechless. I'm just speechless.
I think it's Artesiu said this at, I think it was Arlington Major. He said, God giveth and God taketh. And yesterday, God giveth.
During the 7 years, that has not happened to me. Even winning TI7 when the last round died, it didn't feel the same. It's just the build-up wasn't there for it. But this time, it really, like, hitting top 4 like this, damn, that was the best thing ever happened to me.
Oh, if we only get like one game that lives up to that hype, I'm gonna be happy, and I think the players will be happy with that too. That was insane to watch. Also, it hasn't happened to Matu yet, even though he won TI. I think it's very cool that there's been 3 Mega Creep comebacks ever at TI. Zion's been in every single one of them. That's pretty impressive. And we got to talk a little bit about the Dota as well, because of course we've had a lot of Dota played. We had a lot of heroes picked. There's been 114 heroes picked so far, and that means that there's a couple that are not picked.
Yeah, 8 specifically have not been picked. 219 games. And Purge and I are here to tell you why you're probably not going to see the other 8. Purge, let's get started, my friends.
Okay.
It's been a lot of Dota, but there's a couple of rejects here. Tell me about Clinks.
Clinks, vulnerable early game. His team fight's weaker than a lot of other carries. He's just not as good ultra late as a lot of other choices.
He's garbage. Get out of here. Wind Ranger.
Farm's mediocre. Not very many people like her. She needs BKB to team fight. She's really bad versus Leshrac. It's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things that sum up to garbage. Boom. Bounty Hunter.
No stuns, no team fight. Like a third as good as a Marcy on your team. Why would you pick Bounty Hunter?
Why would you pick him? Garbage. Get out of here. Get out of here. DK.
Dragonite, let's see, he's survivable, but like he's so much worse than all the other good offlaners. Enigma, Primal Beast, Marcy, Brood, Beast, Matt, should I keep going?
No, you shouldn't. All I need to hear is garbage. Boom. Tree Protector.
Teams are farming a lot right now, so like tower push defense timings aren't as important, and he's not even that good at it anymore. The heal comes out slower.
Oh, yeah, I'm not on board. He's garbage. Boom. Coddle.
Weak at laning, not good at ganking, tries way too hard to be cool. Lesh doesn't even need mana anymore. He's got Bloodstone as his friend, so why do you need to coddle?
Get him out of here. He's garbage. Boom. Techies.
Decent lane, good damage, but he doesn't have any stuns. His ulti's very counterable. There's just better heroes than Techies.
There's a lot of them. I'm really going to enjoy this one because he's garbage. He's garbage. He's...
Oh, wait. I got it.
Get him, Purge. Get him, Purge. Get him, Purge.
You need this for your own good. You'll get buffed after. Oh, wait, there's one hero left.
Oh, there is. Why are you even here? Nobody likes you. I might think that you're one of the worst things to ever happen to Dota. There is nothing that you are good at. Also, Meepo was uncontested.
That
was brutal.
Neil, it made me really sad, and then I got a chuckle, and I feel a little guilty about it, but here we are. We are also here with the first series coming your way very soon. Of course, Liquid is going to face Aster. It's their only elimination series of today, and I want to make sure that people watching that are tuning in, maybe only for finals weekend, just to recap, what type of Dota do these two teams play? You want to start off with Liquid, Jenkins?
Yeah, Liquid, I mean, it's not like a team you can call like, you know, this is like an aggressive team. They play aggressive or defensive, whatever is needed. Like all around, they play good Dota. But one of the most important things about this team that I think makes them unique is the fact that they don't really play roles. They play heroes. And this is something that's been true for like every iteration of Liquid, that at least the recent ones. You know, where Boxy was playing offlane, and then he can swap to 4 position. Now, of course, he's playing the 4 position. They'll play Matu mid on Sniper, Lone Druid. They'll swap the supports lanes as well. So yeah, this team, the hardest part about them to beat is the fact that they're just hero experts and they can play any lane.
All right, and if we look towards their opponents today, Effie, we got Team Aster.
Yeah, so Team Aster for me are incredibly fun to watch because this brings me back a little bit to the ESL Malaysia LAN that recently happened, and Aster proved to a lot of the fans watching there that individual skill is important but it's not the most important thing in Dota. Aster are a very team fight-oriented team. They're always drafting in a way where they can come back from a gold deficit just by virtue of outfighting the enemy team. They play a really tight-knit formation on the map always, and the way that they distribute farm around the map is so intentional. Everything that they do, you feel they've discussed, they've calculated it, and they will always play for their specific timings, right? It doesn't matter if they don't have the items or the gold at certain times. They will hold their areas very well. They will not give up Roshans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Team Aster, they've always been in the shadow of LGD because LGD was always performing so well, and they showed that, you know, third place at the Arlington Major and also second at DSL1 Malaysia. They came here to play.
They came here to play indeed, and guess what? We came here to watch some Dota 2. And we're going to kick things off for game one with the draft. Let's go.
Team Liquid versus Team Aster. Game one.
Greetings! Welcome to TI-11. Sunsfan here with Cinderin. We got Stormer and Toby from Entity to help us out with this draft, because God knows, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, doing great. Hyped to be at a TI, and I don't know, TI vibes are really good, right?
Yes, can we hear the crowd? You guys hear? What's going on? Oh, awesome. So Aster versus Team Liquid. Lower bracket, Team Liquid comes in with a ton of momentum, but now there's been a bunch of days off. I don't know how that would affect them. What do you guys think?
Well, I got some background info. I know that Liquid was hella bored in some of those things.
Yeah.
Having a day off, but yeah, gonna be exciting. They had like insane momentum from the lower bracket, obviously. Had to come back from this 0-2 now against Aster. It's gonna be wild.
I think a lot of the time when you have this long of a break, it's about not getting into your own head, right? Because you run this mock draft like 100 times and you start overthinking, okay, what are the enemy team going to do against us? Start playing this rock, paper, scissors with yourself. So there's different ways of approaching a 5-day break like this. This is kind of, you know, unprecedented territory for us. Like, are the teams going to bring something new? Are they going to play what they did so far? And so far, nothing too surprising here, I guess you could say. Maybe aside from a first phase Sven ban. Did you expect that?
Well, we just spent 5 days preparing to give the Marcy first pick. So let's see what the plan is.
We highly respected Boxy Marcy all the time. I think that Marcy is still the top contested hero at this TI, I think, in terms of picks and bans, if I'm not mistaken. And I think Marcy is probably the most spooky Marcy that is out there right now. I think we literally banned it every single time we played against them.
So what do you think makes him spooky on this hero? Like, what is it he does better than other Marcys?
I don't know. He just gets to like 20 minutes, gets a BKB, and one-shots your carry.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I like when my 4 does that.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, in the upper bracket when these two faced, Aster had Lesh every game, both games, and they 2-0'd. Very, very powerful and popular hero these days.
Yeah, Lesh is crazy. We see the next first ban.
Wow.
To enable the Lesh.
So, I mean, very standard though. Like the Maiden, I think Maiden, Leshrac is just pop up at this TI. Maiden is an insanely strong hero, and Lesh is probably the most contested mid lane hero right now. One of the most. 8 Broodmother is pretty interesting. What do you think about it, Toby?
I'm the biggest Broodmother fan. I would have picked it. I'm not sure what Sai's gonna do with it.
So I think we've seen in multiple series now Crystal Maiden as a direct response to Marcy. Obviously a good lane counter because you have a slow and a root as a support. Is there anything extra about this that makes Crystal Maiden a good response to Marcy? Is it just that the other 5s can't really handle her, or is it really that simple?
I think the CM was more preparation for the 8-pick that was coming out, especially the Brood. And I've seen Sven and Lich against Marcy to give armor. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Maiden's just, in any case, probably a pick that you just would love to have in the draft from the beginning on. Just a strong laner and, I don't know, just rounds up a lot of holes already before the draft. Second stage bans are pretty interesting too. Mars and Naga against Aster. I mean, just high contested heroes as well. I think Naga is a Brood counter as well, right? The main carries love to lane against the Broodmother, so that's why they get it out. Aster, meanwhile, banning the Lone Druid. I mean, there's Matumba, man. There's one guy on Liquid. He's probably the best Lone Druid out there playing this hero, so no surprise with banning it. And the 1 HP hero is getting banned out as well, the Pangolier.
Do you hit some crazy timing with Lone Druid Brood when you get the Lone Shard? Is that what they're considering? Or is it just like in general a worrying timing that you're facing? Is it just like extra strong or just a targeted player ban?
I think what's scary about Liquid is that if they pick this lone, they can flex it onto lanes. They might play carry or mid because Mick is also very comfortable playing the carry role. So banning Lone Druid against whoa, Spirit Breaker. Banning Lone Druid against Liquid is just a safe shot in many cases if you're not sure what to ban.
I was going to ask what is left in the pool that's good against Brood, because we've seen a couple of Brood games where they pick it relatively early and it's been punished. Spirit Breaker is obviously very good. There's Kunkka. Anything else come to mind for you guys?
They still need a carry hero that can lane against Brood.
Yeah, that's true. Like, you see this Brood mother. The thing is, nowadays I think Brood is almost always on the off lane. You don't really see it mid. So, the thing is, like, obviously there's only a limited amount of heroes you can pick into this, right? You cannot pick any carry. So, I guess it's to assume that they're gonna pick it on 18.
Knowing Mane, he plays both Monkey King and Gyro, who I think both fare pretty well against Brood, right? They have a way of dealing with the Spiderlings once you get the Flak Cannon up when Brood gets level 6. Is there anything else you're looking, like, you're assuming this is a Marcy Brood lane, right? And you have the Crystal Maiden covering you. I guess most carries can kind of float this lane until Brood is 6 and then it gets super scary, or am I underestimating Crystal Maiden's impact on this lane right now? Are there some carries that just can't play this lane at all?
I can see a patch coming for either team in this phase.
Hell yeah.
Lich first.
Lich leader. Wow. Okay, that's surprising. I didn't see that one coming. Double spellcaster. I mean, they're just heading into the Mika Lina. I think Mika loves this matchup against the Lashrak. It's one of the favorite ones that they actually like win like 60-40 or a bit more even. And yeah, sniper. Aster going for the 18 carry. It's a sniper.
Whoa.
One of the only heroes that outranges Lina. If she's played as a core in mid, which is
techies technically.
Yeah, that is the other one, which nobody plays. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
I can see mid sniper and Lash carry. Lash carry very good against Brood.
Do they flex it ever? Does Monet play Lashrak though?
I don't think so. I think Aster's read here is that, okay, this Brood we can handle in the beginning with our Maiden, and we obviously have the Spirit Breaker rotation possibilities, so we can get away with putting Sniper safe lane, and once Brood gets level 6, things might get dicey and they have to swap their lanes around, because Sniper cannot play this lane after Brood hits 6. It's actually interesting to see Sniper's response here, because usually Brood was a massive counter pick to Sniper. I want to say half a year to a year ago when it was played mid more. Sometimes the last pick Brood would just ruin his game, so...
Yeah, like it's a double range against double melee offlane, right? Like main sniper against Marcy Brood. How do you think that's gonna be like?
I think Brood can play this lane. I think it's a pretty good Brood lane. I hope it's Lash carry, to be honest.
It's better?
Yeah.
Is it possible that Aster start at tri-lane for like a minute or two? That's what we've seen some teams do to try to shut down Brood in the beginning. You see Liquid banned out some of XXS's best laning heroes against Brood to prevent that they set a 1v1 and just play an aggro tri-lane, right? They banned out the Pango as well as the Mars, which XXS has been playing phenomenally this tournament. Are you kind of worried that a potential starting tri-lane from Aster is going to make Brood's game too difficult? Or are you happy as Brood that, okay, I'm getting shut down a little bit, but Matu's going to get a free game?
No, Brood definitely needs a good start, so if they can give the XXS a lane, where he can play 1v2, it's possible, but it's hard into Lich, I guess.
Yeah, Lich is already a spooky laner.
So regardless of the position for Lesh, Team Aster looking for off lane, I assume, and Liquid in position 1.
Yeah, except if XXS plays Ubara. I'm not sure if he can play Spirit Breaker.
Okay.
But that is not out of the question, but I do think it's Global Cup playing that.
A thing I see on Liquid right now, what I would love them to like adjust in the draft a bit, is that they have no clear way of initiating at a certain point in the game. They have Marcy Lina, and let's say post 20 minutes or something, it's not the easiest to engage fights. And Lina and Lich, they want heroes to go in for them. So there's still a Matu pick coming up. I would love to see Liquid pick up a hero that like goes in first. I'm not sure what would fit that, because he also has to worry about the last pick XXS. Still got some time left though.
You also would imagine that it would be nice to have the carry use Frost Shield, right? You're picking this Lich early against essentially nothing that Frost Shield counters in terms of defense, right? So at the time when they picked Lich, they saw CM Lesh Spirit Breaker who have like basically 0 physical damage. So now that you've picked it in this manner, you would imagine Liquid have some sort of an aggressive plan. Like you said, Carry goes in first, pop Frost Shield on him for the control. Or you put it on Marcy, but that doesn't really feel like that's maybe the most valuable. Bloodseeker is going to be the choice.
That's interesting. I don't mind it. I'm not sure how this against Sniper. What do you think, Toby? I think it's really good against the Lash and Barrow.
Yeah, it's good against Lash.
Yeah.
I think they have sniper problems.
Yeah, there are some sniper problems though, yeah, that's true. But I like the idea, like it goes in for the rest of the team. Rupture is a very old school counter. Bloodseeker is not so popular in this TI, but yeah, it basically fits the gap of like frontlining and sort of lockdown. It's not a stun, but it does like 50% of it.
So if you're, let's say you're entertaining the idea of running standard lanes with 2-1-2, what kind of an offlaner do you pick with Spirit Breaker against Lich BS? It's a pretty strong lane, right?
Just some melee hero.
Not a range, not like
oh, it's
Viper
too hard.
or something.
I think it's too hard.
So XXS would have probably liked to play any of the like 4 last bands of Liquid. Yeah. So all right, they have made up their minds. So it's going to be another melee hero, the Underlord.
That's interesting.
What do you make of this?
I'm not sure. So I mean, both drafts are very interesting. Like. It's actually tough to do. The mid matchup is going to go pretty well for Liquid. They got the Lina against Leshrac matchup. He is playing against a Barrow, which has always been a bit annoying for her to deal with because he gets on top of you. I'm not sure what the bottom lane is going to go like. This entire Bloodseeker.
Pretty good for Bloodseeker, but he shouldn't feed on Underlord.
Yeah.
And free Brood game in my book. So.
Free Brood game?
Yes.
Okay.
You're both taking Liquid?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking. Like, I think Liquid has like a pretty good shot, but I think Aster has OP heroes as well. I'm taking Aster.
Okay, split panel then. Let's go to Sir Action Slacks, who's looking like a mob boss today. Very, very nice. Let's hear what he has to say.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the International Game 1! Woo! Singapore is ready, my friend, and it seems like you guys are as well. Disgusting draft, if I may. A Brood Mother, a Bloodseeker. You really are treating this like an elimination game, huh?
Yeah, shout out to Quakeva for the Brood. This one's for you, buddy. Never left our team.
Attaboy. So, are you concerned at all? I want to know a little bit about how you guys prep for this. You had a big, long break. I think most of it was on your big old brain. What did you guys do during that time off to get ready for a team like Aster?
We did nothing. We sat in our rooms, chilled a lot, watched a ton of Naruto, which I'm slowly trying to get into potentially. And yeah, me and Matu just drafted. We kind of just enjoyed the moment, you know? We had a lot of time to think about it, and what an incredible thing to be up here. We just kind of appreciated the moment.
All right, well, all those weebs in my game with the anime profile picture, apparently that's all you need to do to get good at Dota. Let's see if we get a good match, my friend, and we'll throw it to our casters.
Thank you, Sir Action Slacks. A very informative interview as always. Lower bracket semifinals of TI11, Aster versus Team Liquid, game number 1. Cinder, I didn't even get your thoughts on the draft here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's interesting that you have this much time to prepare and you don't really know what to expect. And I would say, as far as surprises go, I feel like Aster are bringing something new here. They do get this D-ward, by the way, worth mentioning, is a little bit of a head start for them in that mid lane. They're bringing some stuff here that we haven't seen them play that much. They're playing the Underlord on XXS, the Spirit Breaker on Boboka. I don't think they played these heroes much, if at all, in the playoffs, whereas Liquid are more sticking to their guns of what we've seen. So this is something I'm very curious to see throughout this day in the next series as well, like how the teams prepare and have different approaches. I'm not going to say one is better than the other because I genuinely don't know, but it seems like
I mean, that's the thing about having this many days off is the theory crafting probably gets to the point where it's not even helpful anymore. We're going to see the rebound here from Boxy, but Siamese Cat's going to be A-okay. And looks like the bounties have been split evenly to start us off here for today.
Yeah, and it will be the expected lanes here. So bottom lane will be Brood together with Marcy against Maiden Sniper. Mid is Lesh against Lina, and finally top lane Underlord, Spirit Breaker facing off against Lich Bloodseeker. So as we talked about on the panel, probably a slight edge in the mid lane to Mickey here with the Lina matchup against Lesh. We've seen this played a decent amount this tournament. Lesh has been incredibly popular, and Lina has been one of the best responses that we've set our eyes on. Speaking of which, setting eyes on, Boboka is playing very aggressively onto Insania, skilling charge level 1 for some damage.
As Mickey and Ori facing off in the mid lane, Lina versus Leshrac. can see Zai getting harassed by quite a bit as we have a pause. And I don't know if those are oohs, ahs, or boos, or all of the above, Cinderin, but the first pause today.
And the crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes ah.
What a pause! So I imagine we have a small tech issue. We have not been given a reason just yet for why this pauses, but this gives us a little bit more time. All right, so disconnect from Insania makes it seem...
Well, I've heard some players have to change their chat wheel to be not GG, but of course that might not relate to these teams at all, considering they're all good manner players.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine a player like Insania having GG in his chat, but you never know. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised once you might have your opinion on players, and then you meet them in real life.
Never meet your heroes.
Totally different beast, you know?
Never meet your heroes, and that's why I regret ever meeting Sir Action Slacks.
He was your hero?
That's true, actually. That wasn't accurate at all. I just wanted to throw that out there regardless.
The conclusion is never meet Slacks.
Yes. Yeah. I think that was what I was trying to get across. Appreciate that, sir. That's why you're here. You're analyzing my thoughts.
Telling you what you wanted to say.
That's right. Very good. Tell me, how does Zai play Brood this game?
Yeah, so it sounded like Topi is quite the Brood specialist, right? And